Hi guys, so welcome to another exciting episode of Money Talks here with Christopher Beecher, your favorite financial advisor. Now, I know that we've been going on for a while and I'm here to debunk all the financial myths, to set you on a path to financial freedom, to teach you what they didn't teach you in school, and just to get you in good standing and good order where your money is concerned. All right, so today I'd like to talk about 7 signs that you're good with money. And this was actually put up by NCB Jamaica, and I'm just going to discuss a few of these things. So it's 7 signs you are good with money. And the first one that they have is you have a steady flow of income, right? Guys, your greatest wealth building tool is your income. Let me repeat that. Your greatest wealth building tool is your income. Your income is the substance of what you have either traded time to get that money, or if in the case that you have passive income where you're able to earn while you're not there, or earn in your sleep. Your income is your greatest wealth building tool. So if you have a steady flow of income, whether it's trading time for money as in a job, a 9 to 5, or if you have passive sources or streams of income, right, that means that you have enough to supply living expenses, enough to supply your wants, enough to supply your needs, your necessities, etc. So having a steady flow of income, having multiple sources of income, both traditional trading time for money or passive income through investments of various forms that we'll talk about, is very important. So how many streams of income do you have, and how steady is your flow of income? Does it come in every month at the same time without fail, or is it shaky? So you got to get your income, your inflow consistent. All right, so I agree with them on that one, having a steady flow of income. The second sign that you're good with money, they say, is you track how much you spend. Guys, I learned this simple thing a long time ago. It's just like your weight, weight management is just like money management. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it, right? So at the end of the day, when they're specifically talking about being good with money and they're saying you track how much you spend, we're really talking about a budget. Based on your steady flow of income, do you know how much it is that is actually coming out? Because money comes and money goes. They say money is funny. But if you're not tracking that money, if you don't have a budget, you might actually be spending more than you earn. And that becomes a big issue moving on, because it means that you're now living on borrowed time. And by borrowed time, I mean credits, right? And we don't like credit around here. But we'll talk about that moving forward. So that's the second sign. Do you track how much you spend? Guys, get on a budget, and I'm going to break that down. The third sign, they say, is you can pay your bills each month. Now, whilst I agree with them that that's a sign that you may be good with money, paying the bills is one thing, but some of us are only living to pay the bills. And guys, if you're only living to pay the bills, if you go to work, if every little money that comes in definitely goes out on expenses, if every little that comes in goes out because you have repayments to make, you are definitely not in good standing. So I don't 100% agree with them that you're good with money because you're able to pay your bills each month, because a lot of us are only living to pay your bills each month. So therein lies the problem. So guys, get on a budget. If you can measure it, you can manage it. So if you're on a proper budget, then I would say that, all right, you can pay the bills each month, and then you have a surplus or you have excess, and that will keep you in good standing, and we'll talk about that. The fourth sign is, can you buy the things you want? Yes, I can. Are you able to buy the things you want? No, we go out there every day, we're working hard for ourselves, we're working hard for our families, and a lot of us are living in a loo. And by living in a loo, I mean we're comparing ourselves to others, and they say that comparison is the thief of joy. And a lot of us are really not able to buy the things that we want. And that's why in Jamaica we have this big syndrome of credit. They say pay zero down, or there's a moratorium, pay 6 months later, have it right now. Guys, in life there's no such thing as something for nothing. As a matter of fact, if you are eager to take a zero down just to get what you want, it speaks to the fact that either you are a greedy person, because there's no such thing as something for nothing, or you're grossly impatient and you're about to put yourself deep in debt because you've taken on something before you can actually afford it. So when we're talking about buying the things that you want, we're talking about buying the things that you want because you have the cash to do so, you have the capital to do so. You don't have to take a loan to do so, or you don't have to use a credit card, or you don't have to borrow money to buy the things that you want. We're talking about proper planning because you have a good savings and you plan towards buying your things. So you can buy the things you want. That one is a little bit tricky because I know a lot of people are buying the things that they want with credit. So I don't necessarily agree with that one. I say if you can pay for the things that you need, or you can buy the things that you need, then you're good with money, because some people, even the things that they need, they have to buy on credit. So if you're able to buy the things that you need, your immediate necessities, paying for your kids' tuition, paying for your utility bills, paying for your gas, and all of these things without using credit, then I'd say you're good with money. Your wants are a different kettle of fish, because then you're planning towards making that purchase. So I want to debunk that one. If you're good with money, you're able then to buy the things that you need, and you plan towards buying the things that you want. They say that you're good with money if you have an emergency fund. Guys, that's my wife cooking in the background. Don't mind her. It's a reality show, Money Talks. Alright? So having an emergency fund is so crucial. And a lot of financial advisors, they normally talk about how much money do you make? Are you on a budget? How much savings you have? But guys, I want to let you know that your savings is different from your emergency fund. What is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is what if shit happens. Guys, what if? What if you're driving down the road and you hear a funny sound inside of your car, and then you hear say, boy, the drive belt just burst? What if you're driving down the road and your tire shred up, and one of your tire them, like my tire them, costs $50,000? What if your emergency fund is able to bail you out of an emergency situation? What if you come home and you turn on the pipe and the pipe busts? Are you able to pay the plumber to come right now to fix this mess so that the whole of the water don't seep in on the cabinetry and mash it up? What if? Guys, your emergency fund is separate from your savings, and ideally your emergency fund should actually be a full month salary times 6 months. So if you earn $100,000 a month, your emergency fund should be $600,000. There are some cases where people have a family, people have children, or you may be a business owner and you have more assets to protect because your emergencies may be bigger because you have dependents. Your emergency fund should actually be 12 months of your salary. So if you earn $100,000 per month, your emergency fund should actually be $1.2 million. It all depends on how many dependents or variables or the size of the assets that you have to protect should in case shit happen, which is an emergency. So guys, remember, get your emergency fund started. I usually recommend that for a starter emergency fund, because I know to get up to that 6 months is very difficult for a lot of people based on what's going on right now. You might be new to finances and you might be trying to get yourself on your feet, but I recommend that your emergency fund should be at least a little under 1,000 US dollars. So I'm recommending anywhere between $100,000 to $130,000 based on the CPI and what things actually cost in Jamaica to be a starter emergency fund. And once you have that initial $100,000 to $130,000 tucked away in a separate account from your savings, in a separate account from your current account, then you can work towards getting that 6 to 12 months depending on what your current situation is. So guys, if you go with money, you have an emergency fund. All right, so we're moving on to number 6 in the 7 signs that you're good with money based on NCB. And it says, you are planning for a major purchase. Guys, it comes back down to what we discussed before. Are you able to buy what you want versus what your needs are? A major purchase, a lot of the times, is a necessity, but a lot of the times it's also a want. Let me give you an example of a major purchase that I see people make in Jamaica without thinking anything about it. A major purchase is buying a new car. Yes. Oh my God, that is most people's major purchase, and we don't think a lot about it. The only thing that we want to think about is, wonder what my credit score is, or what kind of brand it's going to be, because we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You want the 4 rings, or you want the blue and white propellers running at BMW, or you may want the shiny silver star, Mercedes-Benz. See a couple Teslas on the road now, and Porsche is coming in strong. But guys, major purchase is something that you need to plan for, most definitely. And the biggest purchase that most persons will make, the average person will make in their entire life, is actually purchasing a home. And you want to make sure that if you're really good with money and you're planning for a major purchase, whether it's a home or a brand new vehicle, which I don't recommend unless you're at a particular stage in your wealth cycle, which we will discuss in a later episode, you definitely have to have your emergency fund in place before you buy a home. You have to have your emergency fund in place before you buy a new car, because there are a lot of variables that can come up. So yes, I agree. You're planning for major purchase. That means you're definitely good with money, because if you're planning for a major purchase, that means you have in place a steady flow of income. You track how much you spend. As they said before, you're on a budget, and a good zero budget. You can pay your bills effectively every month, and you have a surplus. You can buy the things that you want, but really you can buy the things that you need and the things that you want. You have an emergency fund. So yes, I agree with this one. You plan for a major purchase. If you're planning for a major purchase, buying a home or a car, you or anything else, a trip, a vacation, you are definitely good with money if you're planning, because you are watching the numbers. And then finally, number 7 based on NCB, they say you are saving money. Guys, let's come back to what I said at the start of this Money Talks episode. Your income is your greatest wealth building tool, right? And so often, based on our income and expenses and or debts, or what you call that now, standing orders, or car payments, or credit card payments, or gym memberships, or country club memberships at Ligani Club, etc. At the end of the day, a lot of persons are able to have an emergency fund because they establish that they're able to buy the things that they need and the things that they want. They're able to pay the bills every month. They're able to plan for a major purchase, but sometimes we find ourselves in a position where we don't have no savings. Guys, My father always told me this one thing. He said, savings maketh the man, and savings come from your income, whether it's from a 9 to 5 or whether it's from your investments or your passive streams of income. Guys, ideally, they say that you should save 10% of your income, but I'm going to challenge some of you this morning and say that you should be saving 20 to 30% of your income. So that means that when you are actually tracking how much money you spend, it means when you're actually looking into doing your budget, 30% of your income should be savings. Now, personally, some person said that you should save off your gross or you can save off your net. I personally like to save off the net, but let me tell you why saving off either one 30% is fine. Guys, if you have a legitimate job, right, outside of your investment, there's such a thing called Caesar. Pay unto Caesar what is due unto Caesar, the tax man. Guys, they're taking 30% out of your income already. Sorry, let me say that again. A third. So, if you want to be above average, if you want to be a financial mutant, and that's what the Money Talk show is all about, you want to ideally be putting away 20 to 30% of your income, because that is already what the guys are taking out. 10% is excellent. That means you have a good habit. But if you can manage to save 20, you're well on your way to being financially free, and you won't just be good with money, but you'll be great. If you're able to save 30% of your income, yes guys, it's possible. You can save 30% if you increase your income stream, right? And we'll talk about that in other episodes. Then you are really on your way to being excellent with money. And that's when we talk about financial freedom, because you have enough disposable income. Guys, I hope you like this episode of Money Talks. Today we discussed from NCB what are 7 signs that you're good with money. Hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much, and see you in the next episode of Money Talks. Your favorite financial advisor, Christopher Beecher, out.